War, the greatest tragedy of humanity. War, a single word that holds within it the screams of millions. It is the darkest chapter of human civilization where reason dies, compassion disappears, and humanity loses itself in the flames of hatred and destruction. From ancient times to our modern age, war has been a constant shadow following mankind, changing forms, weapons, and names, but never its nature. It brings death, sorrow, and chaos, leaving behind nothing but ruins and regret. The beginning of conflict. War has existed for as long as humans have disagreed. In the early ages, tribes fought for land, water, and survival. As time passed, those battles grew bigger and more complex. Empires clashed for power, religion, and pride. Whether it was the wars of the Romans, the Crusades, or the World Wars, the pattern remained the same. One side's ambition became another's suffering. The First World War was called the war to end all wars, but just 2 decades later, humanity faced an even greater disaster, the Second World War. Tens of millions of lives were lost, entire cities were reduced to ashes, and the world witnessed horrors that can never be forgotten. The atomic bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki did not just end a war, they marked the beginning of an age where one button could destroy humanity in seconds. That is the real cost of war, the fear that never ends. The endless suffering of innocents. Every war claims to have a purpose, freedom, defense, or justice, but the ones who pay the price are almost never the ones who start it. The true victims of war are not soldiers in uniforms, but children who lose their parents, mothers who bury their sons, and families who watch their homes turn to dust. In modern times, war has moved beyond the battlefield. Missiles fall on schools, bombs destroy hospitals, and refugees flee across borders in search of safety that never comes. The cries of innocent people echo across continents, but the world often remains silent. We see it today in places like Gaza, Ukraine, and other conflict zones where the pain of ordinary people becomes just another headline on the news. War doesn't just kill bodies, it kills hope, love, and humanity itself. The psychological and moral destruction. The wounds of war are not only physical, they live deep inside the human soul. Soldiers return home haunted by memories of death, suffering from trauma and guilt. Children who grow up in war zones carry lifelong fear and anger. Entire generations are raised under the shadow of violence, learning to hate before they learn to love. Even those far from the front lines are affected. Societies become divided. Fear replaces trust. Humanity begins to lose its sense of right and wrong. During war, killing becomes normal and cruelty becomes justified. People start to believe that violence is the only answer. But once that happens, can we still call ourselves human? The economic and cultural collapse. War doesn't just destroy lives, it destroys civilizations. Economies collapse, education stops, and art, culture, and science disappear under the smoke of conflict. The billions spent on weapons could build schools, hospitals, and homes, but instead they build graves. According to reports by international peace organizations, global military spending has crossed $2 trillion. Imagine what the world could achieve if that money was spent on fighting poverty, disease, and climate change instead of fighting each other. Yet, nations continue to arm themselves, preparing for destruction while their people struggle to live. War is not just a battle between armies, it's a battle between greed and goodness, between ignorance and understanding.